Good evening, football fans, and welcome to this Section 8 AA football playoff matchup between your visiting team on the scoreboard, the Crookston Pirates, and your home Pelicn Rapids Vikings. Both teams coming into this game here at 0-0, as anyone could mention. Crookston here has had a tough season, tough sledding has it been. The Vikings have had their highs and have had their lows. But as anyone will know, as the season goes on and the playoffs enter in, it could be anybody's game. Going back into the regular season, taking a look at the season for the Pelicn Rapids Vikings, the home team on the scoreboard, they were 3-5 in regular season play, with a couple marquee wins for them would be their win against East Grand Forks, their win against Warroad, their win against Thief River. They're just lost by 30 to a 7th-ranked Staples Motley team in the state of Minnesota. Crookston finished their regular season at 2-6. They won their final game against Red Lake, impressively so, 54-6. Their other win comes against Cass Lake Bena. When they played teams in this section, well, we don't know. They kind of restructured their regular season this year, where they played games against some smaller opponents. Pelicn Rapids, on the other hand, has played some teams that we're familiar with playing. And, for example, I believe this is the number 3, number 6 game here in the section. Or let me think about that. The first team got a bye, and so I think it is 3 versus 6, as there are 7 seeds here. Pelicn Rapids lost to the 7th seed in this section. They lost to Roseau earlier in the season. So Crookston getting a better QRF than Roseau, and they have some studs. We will talk about this team, specifically Tate Hammer is somebody who will be talked about significantly, a UND commit. They're going to try and find a way to get him the ball as much as possible in all ways. Kicking off right away here is number 72, Casey Weiland. His kick is short, even with the wind, and it's recovered there by number 32, Mark Royce. He falls on it, and he's just going to give the Vikings decent field position here at the 42-yard line. A bit of a matinee showing here. Lights still up in the sky. Friday night lights came on a Tuesday at 6 p.m. One of the reasons for this early start is get these boys back for a Wednesday class time. These student athletes being asked to play here, not on a Friday night. They're going to have to wake up and go to class at 8 a.m. tomorrow. But it is Grady Larson and the Pelicn Rapids Vikings starting things off here, their first drive from the 41. Larson been a very high proficiency passer on the season. He's going to run this time straight up the gut. He's almost untouched. The 20, the 10. First play from scrimmage is a Vikings touchdown. No laundry on the field. Grady Larson goes 59 and says 6-0 Vikes. I was ready to talk about Grady Larson's explosive play potential out of the air, but I was also going to mention the 41-degree weather. Apple weather says it feels like 25 today. Now, I'm not sure if that's true, but I'm sitting here in the comforts of the press box, but many people down there are shivering, and I see my cameraman here hoping that his batteries will last him the entirety of this game. Grady Larson probably going to keep it on the ground more frequently in this game. Well, if they can stay explosive on the ground, that's a great recipe for the Vikings. Jimmy Salazar's kick right into the teeth of the wind, good. And the Vikings set things off right here. Number 7, Grady Larson going for 59, making it 7-0 Pelicn Rapids. Man, what a start. What a start for the Vikings. They have been not struggling, but I would say when you think about their offensive attack, their passing game certainly has gotten more positive reviews than their running game this season, and I'm sure we'll see a good load of Grady Larson keepers as well as Bricker Haugerud runs. We did not get to see all of the Vikings pitches there on that first drive, obviously one play, and how many seconds? Mr. Haugerud is 14 taken off the clock, so we said this was going to be maybe a quick game with all the running, but if these teams continue to run like that, it might take a while. maybe a lot of kicks. We'll see. Jimmy Salazar, his ball falls over on his first attempt here. He's hitting it right into the wind. Even a great kick from him. I have a hard time believing it's going to get to the 10-yard line, which is where number 3, Dexter Janik, is trying to take this off. It is a good kick. Goes to the 25. Oh, bounces off a Crookston Pirate. Falling on it is going to be number 1, Ian DeLeon. And so the junior avoids catastrophe. And so DeLeon is able to keep it in the hands of the team in white. They're going to be moving to the south. I'm assuming after they lost the kick, or they maybe deferred their choice and decided to choose direction, they wanted to face the south here. If I was the Pirates, I would want to have the wind at my back to start this game. We'll see what happens here. They start out of the shotgun here. What they're going to hand off here to number 20. That is Jose Arriaga. I will not be rolling my R's the entire day, but Arriaga runs forward for, backward, stuffed in the backfield, a loss of 4, it looks like. Roscoe Stubbs in the back there, number 72, the nose tackle for the Vikings. Gets Arriaga stopped in his tracks. So the Pirates will continue. This time they're in a bit of a bunch wingback set here, full house type of look. They are going to toss it out here right to number 6, Jaron Knutson, and he also has not much to go here. He's tackled by 54. Levi Hillica is one of the people on the play here. Vikings were stretched out there, and did a good job on the perimeter tackling. The Vikings linebackers here is going to be Levi Hillica, Bricker Haugard, as well as Aiden Checo de Souza. They have 4 down linemen, 3 up. There's a pass there. Hammer heading over here to number 6, Jaron Knutson. It was not, they are going to call it a catch. Across the 35 down to the 36. I saw the ball on the ground after the tackle here, but maybe they're saying a catch and down by contact. Regardless, it'll bring up 4th down. It is a playoff game. I wonder how much, especially with how hard it is to punt this football, how much of today will just be a 4-down territory no matter where you are on the field. They are going to run back number 6, Jaron Knutson, for he is 12 yards deep here, ready to take the punt, and looks like Edwin Escobar might have jumped off sides. No, they're going to call a procedural penalty. He was induced by movement on that left side of the front. So they'll set it up again after a 5-yard penalty, 4th down and 13. Knutson one more time here, trying to catch the ball in the cold. It's not an easy feat. He catches it. Nice spiral kick, moving with the wind. Nice pickup by Aiden Checo de Souza. Makes a man miss out to the left. He makes another man miss here, diving in. He's got the edge to the left. Can he beat one man? He does! 20, 10, touchdown, Aiden Checo de Souza. The Vikings have touched the ball 3 times and scored twice. This time at the hands of Checo de Souza, making 3 Crookston Pirates miss and making it 13-0 quickly in this first quarter. Checo de Souza getting all kinds of high fives from his bench as he runs forward here and showing off a little bit of that track speed. He is a 300 hurdler, I believe, and 4x100 guy. He's a fast man, and he showed it there. And just straight line speed, Crookston did not dial that in, and it is Salazar one more time with a solid kick right to the arms of Zane Schulte down there on the far end. Nice catch, Zane. And with all that said and done, 14-0 Vikings. Efficient start for the team in black. They're wearing their classic black-on-black look here. What you would see the Vikings wear almost the entirety of, for example, the Dave Haugen years. And no orange on the jerseys tonight. Going back to the basics, Crookston Pirates with their blue pants, white jerseys, and a gold C on their helmet, almost reminiscent of maybe a Concordia Cobbers type of C there. Salazar one more time. If anyone's going to be sore after this game, it might be Salazar here. Now his 4th kick that he's had to give here into the wind again here. Just 9:29 remaining in the first quarter, just 2.5 minutes off of this clock. And this time it is handled by De Leon, and he gets across the 30, and he's dumped at the 33-yard line. So we'll try it again here. Crookston Pirates, we'll see what they can do here. As Tate Hammer walks his team across. They will traverse across the 30 to start things off at the 34. This time it looks like they are going to stay in the shotgun set here. That is Arriaga next to Hammer. Takes a snap, keeper right now. He's looking to pass. Stiff arms a man as he does throw out of bounds right into the arms of Miguel Torres, who's all suited up here today for the first time since coming off that little hamstring injury. I'm not sure if he will play today. He's limited on the defensive end and wearing the warm gloves. He's right next to Jack Welch and Andon Roysum. You can see that pack of 3, 12, 8, and 80, 2 seniors and a junior, who are key receivers for these Vikings, trying to keep their mitts warm if they ever need to pass the ball today. Based on how they've been moving the ball on the ground, I doubt it. Out of the wing back full house type of set here. One more time, Hammer keeps it. This time he's got nowhere to go. Calvin Norton cleans it up at the end, but it was first wrapped up by Hillica. So Hamry, just nowhere to go here. Too strong, a strong man, hard to bring down, but 3 Vikings collapse on that. Hillica one more time on the left side in it. Calvin Norton finishing the job at the end here. And so for all the Crookston Pirates here watching from afar, apologies for the mispronunciation of Tate Hamry's name so far. I should know the type of stud that he has been and the exciting career that he may have here going forward in Grand Forks. Potentially playing in his last football game here. And he will be the number that takes responsibility for that delay of game. So clock continued to run here. Now delay of game will stop things at 8:30 to go. And it makes this already adverse situation more difficult. It's 3rd and 22, or maybe 3rd and 23 on their own 22. So they have to get to the 44-yard line. So 3rd and 22 on their 22. Hamry one more time here. Makes a man miss in the pocket. Now he is wrapped up by Harley Jacobson, and he finally is taken down. Bricker Haugard in there as well. Jacobson wrapped up and finished through the whistle. Nothing malicious about that takedown here. Just wrapped him up and fell down with him. And so that sack makes it 4th, and I hope the punt gets to the sticks. I think it's probably 30-something here. They're standing on their own 17, probably 4th and 27 probably here. Knutson was back to punt one more time with the wind yet again. Catches that nicely. Another spiral kick. Could bounce a while here. This time Ethan Eisman might have a chance at it. He muffs it momentarily. Trying to get out of one tackle. Does. Can he get the edge out to the right? He is going to get tackled there. Oh, no. He's wrapped up momentarily. Cuts it back, and he will get tackled there. He was taken by Arriaga momentarily, and that slowed him up enough for the rest of the Pirates to get him down. On this side of midfield, the 45 is about where they'll spot it. And Pirates have a man slow to get up here on one knee, and he's still seated. I think that might be number 23, Mason Reitmeyer, who is holding his left leg and has not gotten up on the far side. So there's no stoppage because he is out of play, but that is something definitely to take into consideration here. The senior Reitmeyer might be in jeopardy of getting things going. Bricker Haugard up the middle, makes a man miss, runs through, and he's untouched. Man, these Vikings, 2 plays from scrimmage and a punt return touchdown. They got 3 of them. make it 20-0, and things are getting out of hand early here on Chauncey Martin Field. I can't say I've ever seen anything like this here as I sit here alone with no color commentator to work this out. The Vikings have touched the ball 5 times, and 3 of those have been kick returns, and they've had 2 plays from scrimmage. Those 2 have resulted in touchdowns, and the third one of those 3 kick returns went for a touchdown from Aiden Checo D'Souza. Now, 4 people have touched the ball. Well, I guess Mark Royston touched the ball, and Jimmy Salazar has touched the ball 5 times with his foot. But these Vikings with 3 touchdowns on 2 plays from scrimmage and a punt return. So just the speed at this second level here, Crookston unable to take down Haugard or Larson. And the Vikings all jumps and all smiles here early. I've never seen a pace like this. 7:28 to go, 4.5 minutes into the game. Vikings with 3 scores. Jimmy Salazar takes 13 steps straight diagonal here. Puts his hand up, looks left and right, jogs into this one, and this time it's a little bit of a squib kick. And recovered by the Vikings here, which is quite surprising given the situation on the field. I am shocked that they kicked what was basically an onside kick here, and it is recovered by Pelicn Rapids. So offense takes the field back over here, and I'm kind of interested as to what the story is. And head coach Eli Beachy walks all the way out to the officiating staff here, and they have time to talk to their team here. I wonder if a timeout was called. Crookston took it. And I haven't heard any words. I haven't seen any body language to indicate that that was unplanned, planned, unsportsmanlike, or maybe just trying to practice that because they may need that later on in the playoff run. Regardless, Pelicn Rapids is going to take the ball after, the timing of it seems unnecessary considering the early scores that the Vikings have had. Well executed, great kick if that's what you're intending to do. So I'm sure if I was a Crookston Pirates fan, I would be sitting on my lounger right now saying that seems to be unnecessary, and the Vikings are going to pass it out here on first down. Larson gives it a rip. Ethan Eisman makes the catch and is on the sideline, takes a huge hit from behind there, and that was by number 67, clocked him good there. And it was not announced by who tackled them. 67 is not in our program here. So we'll try and get that number to you later on in the day, but nice hit from him by behind, and now Bricker Haugard gets the carry up the middle here for a gain of a few, and so it's nice to see that percentage of plays that end up scoring get cut in half here now. Vikings have 2 plays from scrimmage that result in catches and a clock winding. 6:40 to go in the first quarter. Pelicn Rapids 21, Crookston 0. If you're just joining us, you're either wondering, is that quarter number right? Or did they start this game at 5 p.m. or what is happening? And no, it is the first quarter. This game did just start 15 minutes ago. The Vikings have scored 3 touchdowns. Larson trying to throw another one, this time to Andon Roysum. But that was well at his feet, 5 yards short of him. Larson trying to throw on his back foot and into the teeth of this wind, might I add. It's easy to look and think it's a calm day up here, but don't forget it is blustery down there. passing the ball is going to be difficult in this game. Vikings are kind of in a little bit of a 4-down territory, considering how difficult it would be to punt to the north anyway, and just where you are on the field here, 34-yard line of Crookston. It's going to be a handoff, Bricker Haugard up the middle. He has enough space, maybe the first down, gets there, and then some. Tries to make a cut there on number 7, Mauricio Arriaga, but Mauricio is able to tackle him before he gets anything further. But the chains do move. Pelican Rapids resets things at the 15-yard line now. Excuse me, they're going to place it on the 19. I misspoke there. It will be inside of the red zone. The red zone of Crookston. Vikings go. A bit more of a methodical drive where you're starting to see what is the standard playbook of the Vikings, which is power running with Bricker Haugard and then trying to get Ethan Eisman the ball. Grady Larson does a little 360, fools nobody. Then Eisman was open, but great defense there over in the corner. I believe that's Arriaga, number 20, the older brother here. Let's make sure I get that across the field. I'm pretty sure that would be Jose Arriaga with nice coverage there on Eisman, one of the best receivers in Section 8 AA. Hard to cover up, and he's able to get his hand on the ball, or at least maybe it was off of the pads of Eisman, but he was certainly defended heavily there from the Pirate. Checo D'Souza running straight up and down, trying to get through the hole, and he's swallowed up inside. Hamry, one of them, to make the tackle. Another one, number 71 here. And I'm looking at the numbers here. This is number 71. We're assuming Juan Ramirez, 6'1", 190. Really strong-looking nose tackle. Swallowed up Checo D'Souza there. 3rd and 9 after an incomplete pass now and a short run. Vikings going to stick to the run with Bricker Haugard. Puts his right foot in the ground, cuts out to the left, and he only gets down to about the 17. So, inside the 15 down to the 13. So he does gain about 5. That'll bring up 4th down and about 4 now. They need to get past the 10-yard line. I'm assuming all of the 9 to get this first down. So they need 4 here. And so this is a good chance for Crookston to make a statement here, maybe get some momentum on their side. Larson rolling out to his left, trying to find Eisman. Does! Touchdown Vikings! Man, that one snuck up on Ethan Eisman there, zipped inside. And I thought I saw Torres open for the sticks, and also open was Eisman right on the pylon, and Larson just sauces that in here. High speed ball, not easy to catch on this cold day, and I don't know if Eisman's hands are going to pay the price for it, but doesn't matter. Another touchdown for the Vikings, make it 27-0. Salazar out for his 4th point after attempt. Kick is up on, it is flirting with that right upright, but does sneak inside there. So Jimmy Salazar good again, 4 for 4 with these extra points. And I'm glad I got the radio guy just a wall away. That one was 8 plays, 2 minutes and 59 seconds. So a 3-minute drive for the Vikings would otherwise be seen as kind of a fast drive, decisive, but based on how they've been scoring, that was more methodical than usual. 8 plays, 3 minutes, and the Vikings one more time are going to kick it to the north here. Salazar's been asked to kick it 7 times already, and he's going to get an 8th opportunity here when he sets it on a tee. And so Salazar usually has been making it to about the 25-yard line. That's about a 35-yard kick, and I promise you that I would wish to ever be able to do that into this wind. Salazar, very nice end-over-end look here. Just a sophomore. It's been exciting to see his development. There's another nice end-over-end one. This time it goes past the 25, down to the 23. And one more time it is De Leon who gets the return across the 30 up to the 32-yard line. He's tackled by Mark Roysum and company of the Vikings, who comes out running here. Carter Johnson also in the mix here, as well as Charlie Stubbs. And now coming into the game for the first time, notably, is Finn Stewart, number 68, a senior here who's getting some nice playing time and getting his last, and what will be his last game on Chauncey Martin Field regardless, as these Vikings will not get any chance to have a home playoff game going forward. They're going to end up playing the winner of the Barnesville-Roseau game, which we're all assuming is going to be Barnesville, to put it plainly. So I can't give you these scores as they come in here, but I think 3 games happening tonight in Section 8AA. Warroad and Holly might be the interesting one, but otherwise, I'm assuming Barnesville-Roseau, it looks like Barnesville 8, Roseau 0. They do not have a time updated. It says in the pregame, so it looks like MN score feed. No one's updating the time, so it's making it look like that they're already cooking the books for Barnesville here. That's a tackle for a massive loss there. Trying to sweep that out to the left there was number 2, Domenico Roque. It was Aiden Checo de Souza who met him deep in the backfield. So Roche goes nowhere, and now it is Hamry trying to get it forward. Nice spiral up ahead, and ooh, had a chance at it. Was number 3, Dexter Janik, but it goes through his hands. And if you're Crookston, that's the type of play you really need. It's some kind of an explosive play to get that momentum going, get yourself in positive field position, positive side of the chains. And they did not get it there. That's been one of the Vikings' Achilles' heels on their defensive side today. And when I say today, I mean this season. They've been giving up chunk plays at too high of a clip. That's been a problem for them. They've been doing a good job so far, but dangerous right there. Hamry to Janik almost made it work. Hamry's pass in the middle over there this time, no good. Attempted for, looks like Jose Arriaga. So Arriaga is not going to be connected with there from Hamry. It'll be 4th and a lot. 4th and 18, and they will, one more time, drop back Knutson to punt it to the south here. Knutson has a rock and a hard place to choose where to kick this. Do you kick it to Ethan Eisenman, who is one of the shiftiest returners that you have, or Aiden Checo de Souza, who's one of the fastest returners you can have, who's going to let this one go this time? And Bricker Algard almost kicked it, so that was dangerous there as he was blocked almost into the ball by number 2, Domenico Roche. Regardless, what it's going to result in is a down ball on the 38-yard line. So very nice kick there by Knutson, and the Vikings cannot get a return. And so 3:21 to go in the first quarter. Vikings 28, Crookston 0. Vikings 4 for 4 on their first 4 drives. One of their drives was 0 plays from scrimmage on a punt return, so high efficiency from the Vikings. Larson this time, no drop, gets it out to Miguel Torres on almost a designed quick out there with Eisman in front of him. Not saying it was a pick play or a screen that far down the field, but it effectively worked as such, and a little pass play for 6 yards, and I watched the official throw that ball across to his spotter. Did you see how much that ball moved like a banana from north to south? It's like I said, I cannot believe that the Vikings are passing with this kind of effectiveness, considering the teeth of this north wind. It's going to take an adjustment from Larson once they turn to the south to try and make that work. Bricker Halgrud, nice find to the seam there, just lowers his head and gets the first down. Tackled by number 11, Jacob Biermeyer. So that's a nice strong run from Bricker Halgrud. Vikings continuing to roll here. Clock continues to move. They will be happy to be methodical, be effective, and turn things over to the south where they can experience the wind at their back a little bit. The man who will not be so happy is the back judge here, who has been enjoying the wind at his back for most of this time. Bricker Halgrud floated out there to the left, catches it for a gain of 5, tackled by number 72. That is I believe, Casey Weiland. And so that's a gain of about 6. The way the ball was in the air made it look like it was a 15 to 20-yard pass, but it just was more like a boomerang and fell right down into the arms of Bricker Hauger, not usually asked to catch the ball, but out of the backfield, had a little wheel route there. And once again, Bricker Hauger will go out to the right here. This time he goes deep. He goes to Miguel Torres. Nice find and a grab and score. What a ball from Grady Larson through the teeth of this wind for 35 yards. Pitch and catch right into the basket of Torres. And 6 more points for Pelican Rapids. They continue to run it up here, 34-0. It's still in the first quarter, folks. And I got to watch my own, oh my gosh. Sorry, we had to watch that again. He caught that at the 15, and he threw it from his own 45. So let's do the math on that, Hauger. That's 40 yards. How often do you see a 40-yard pass there? How often do you see a 40-yard pass into a 20-mile-an-hour wind on a 40-degree night in high school football? You just don't. Grady Larson with one of the most talented arms, arguably that I think we've ever seen here at Pelican Rapids football, and I'm sure someone is going to disagree with me somewhere, but I don't care. I'm just going to say it right now, since Timmy Guler was a good one too, to be honest with you, and especially the Vikings in recent years, they have evolved with the Beachy offense with more of a pass-heavy playbook. But man, Larson is doing it like, to be fair, Timmy Guler, short memory, right, was very, very prolific as well, passing the ball. And a great guy to have, Miguel Torres, in your wide receiver core alongside Eisman and Roysum and Jack Welch. So Larson enjoying the weapons, but through the teeth of this wind, that was a bomb. Salazar kicks again. He made his extra point, so we're keeping track of his shooting percentage from extra point land. 5 for 5 so far, and he's going to kick another one here. The wind is not going down anytime soon. 40 degrees out there. Feels like 26. Gusts up to 35. This time a little bit more of a low driving kick. Lands at the 16. It is going to get scooped up here by number 3. That is Janik. And he's tripped up there behind the 20. So Jimmy Salazar has warmed himself up well. And he is going to end this first quarter presumably with 10 different kicks. So I would assume his leg is somewhere between warmed up and getting tired. But they will set it down here at the 19-yard line, and this is where the Vikings will take over. The Pirates will take over on offense. Hamry trying to get something going for these Pirates. Hamry out of the shotgun, takes a motion man to the right. That is number 8, Dane Peterson. He will keep it himself, and he will hand it off there to number 20, Arriaga. And Arriaga is able to dive forward for positive yardage up to the 20. So gain of a couple here, moves it to 2nd and 8. And the Vikings inside there. Roscoe, Stubbs, Finn Stewart, down linemen, 2 defensive ends that kind of sometimes play as 2 feet or no hands and they play up. But sometimes they put a hand down and go 3-point stance, and this time they are 3-point. These defensive end is Harley Jacobson, the senior, and Calvin Norton, junior, on the left side. Hamry this time here, throwing out to the left side, caught there by Roche, and he is dumped after a loss on the play out in the flat. Aiden Checo de Souza, Tate Marich, and it looks like also number 2, that is Trey Dawkin in on the stop out on the defensive back position. So that's a nice tackle there from a few guys that are seen on the perimeter. Nice track down there of Roche. So 3rd down and 9. It looks like he did get back to the original or to the line of scrimmage on that play. So it is 3rd and 9 unless an incompletion was called. Nope, that's going to be the last play of the first quarter. Clock was winding, went down. I thought they were going to get a snap off before the quarter's over, but it is not. They will flip the field, and the Vikings are enjoying what has been their most dominant first quarter of the season by far. They're up 35-0. They came to play on this playoff night. We'll be back for the start of the second quarter. And so we are lined up back here for the start of the second quarter. And so that first quarter here took 32 minutes. The Vikings scored 35 points, 5 for 5 on their drives. And one of them was a punt return touchdown. Otherwise, a couple Grady Larson touchdown passes, a Grady Larson run up the middle, and a Bricker Haugerud run up the middle, all good for scores for the Vikings. Crookston yet to get a first down. So they're going to try it right now. Hamry rolls out to his right, makes a man miss. Now throwing here and throws it right into the arms of number 26 on the sideline. And I wish I had that name on my program here. Looks like it might be number 28, Maddox Herner, the freshman standing on the sideline who made that snag. So credit him with a little bit of clout over there on the sideline. And I was just looking at this Crookston lineup here, this roster. They have 31 guys on their roster, but when I look at their sideline, it just looks like 8 or 9 guys. So, and a couple of them injured. So hopefully they're not plagued too much with injury or anything here, as they already have a limited lineup here. Ethan Eisman, as that one scoot through his legs, I think he's gonna let it go here. So I'm assuming that Eisman didn't make contact. He would know if he did, and he plays it off all cool like. So the Vikings will take over here on the 50-yard line, or maybe a little bit across to the 49. So this is where the Vikings will take over, headed to the south. And one more time, great field positioning. Set it on the 49. Switch out the balls, give the Vikings their home ball. And this is going to be an interesting transition now for Grady Larson, who the entire time was throwing into the teeth of the wind and had some impressive throws into the wind. And now he's going to be throwing with the wind, which I'm sure many quarterbacks would tell you is just as hard, if maybe not more difficult. Control your passes. Keep it from sailing on too many passes. We'll see what happens. This first pass out to the left side is wide left. Nice coverage there by number 6, Jaron Knutson, blanketing Jack Welch as he tries to throw him on that 5-yard out. And the wind was not a factor there. Good spiral, just better coverage by Knutson, and really no way to fit that ball to the senior Welch. And that will be now 2nd and 10. Vikings, even though they are in a position to run the ball often and wind this clock to, in theory, win this game, much of their playbook relies on a passing offense. So they are going to continue to run their plays and practice to some extent these plays against the would-be Barnesville opponent that they have on presumably Saturday. Bricker Haugard up the middle, makes a man miss, and runs through everybody, and he will not be caught. 20-10, 5 touchdown. Pelicn Rapids, another one. Bricker Haugard right up the middle. 50 yards, 41 points, Pelicn Rapids. And so Pelicn Rapids and Barnesville trying to see who's going to score more tonight on a northern opponent. It looks like Barnesville is up 24-0 with 1 minute left in the first quarter. Pelicn Rapids in a similar spot, and it looks like it's going to presumably be that matchup on Saturday. So we're just going to try and enjoy the rest of this game here. And it looks like a bad snap there. Salazar, can he keep it going? This time it's still good. Jimmy Salazar, 6 for 6. And, man, for these Vikings, really, really good work by that front line, developing some nice holes for their runners. Both Larson and now Haugard twice have scored, and a lot of it's because when you get to that first level, they're not touched, and they have enough momentum to continue through. So this is a good time to hype up the offensive line for Pelicn Rapids. Left tackle Edwin Escobar, left guard Maddox Vondra. That's the center Levi Hillica. Right guard is Roscoe Stubbs, and the right tackle is Harley Jacobson. And so those five, the Vikings moving crew, deserve more praise than they get from time to time, and they've been opening up some big holes and allowing Crookston to go forward. You know, I have heard, though, rumor on the street is that Coach Beachy promised his right tackle, Harley Jacobson, a carry tonight. I heard he was going to get a carry, like he was going to run the football. And so we'll see if we can get that senior Harley Jacobson a carry here. Maybe it's in the second quarter. Maybe it's later. We'll find out. Salazar this time with the win. Not much of a different result there at the 25. Picked up there by Domenico Roche, and he moves forward this time across the 35. Solid return there from the Pirates, getting across up to the 38, their best field position of the night, which is surprising as the wind is still traveling harshly out of the north. You can see that from the now mist that has made its way onto the field. We're starting to see some moisture in here of rain droplets whipping from left to right on my screen. And so, and by my screen, I mean my eyeballs looking forward, and we look at the window, the droplets hitting the window here that is keeping us nice and toasty in the press box. Running out here to the right, it's Hamry. Falls across the 40, goes straight up the middle this time, and gets a nice gain of 4 here. That's the type of work that you want to see more Crookston doing. This Hamry's going to be a tough guy to bring down. The biggest thing is when he goes laterally, the Vikings have been able to wrap him up with their speed. Maybe they get him moving north and south and get some kind of just allow his strength to press forward in the pile and get a few chunk plays one at a time, move these chains here. They need to get to the 48-yard line to get a first down. And this time they are out of the tight back position. He keeps it, moves out to the left here, breaks a tackle from Checo D'Souza, rolls over Tate Marich. That's a combination of his older brother, Titan, and him, Tate. No, it's not Taten. It's Tate Marich is able to get the tackle. Nicely done. It was Hamry who got the better of it, falling forward, but no gain. So nice tackle by Marich, and the moisture thickens. And all of us here are watching, and now Hamry out of the shotgun this time, facing a 3rd and 6. It's going to be tough to pass it here. The snap is basically rolled to him. He grabs it out of knee, and that's enough to be down there. High school is not the same as the pros. When your knee is down with the ball, you are down. It is not a touch contact down by contact situation. So all I know is things are getting quite grim on the field. If you are Crookston or anybody, they're down 42. The rain is seriously bad. Oh, they're going to fake it here, and it's going to be number 72 running forward. That is Weiland, and Vikings were all over it. Tate Marich this time with another impressive tackle there on the right sideline. This near side with someone trying to stretch it out to the left. He's all over it and dumps him for a loss. The Vikings will take over here on the 41. And so, wow, this is quite a development here for anybody. If you're a fan of this game, you're getting drenched. If you're a cameraman down there, Jaden Peterson, you got to try and keep those cameras dry to make sure we can continue giving you this stream. And we'll wipe off the lenses, keep things going, try to keep our hands off the window as much as possible. It's going to be Calvin Norton getting run here to the right side, and he falls out of bounds, but there is going to be a flag back here. I think it's holding on the Vikings. We'll see. So Calvin Norton is getting his drive here. Apparently it wasn't just Harley Jacobson who was promised some handoffs. Calvin Norton, who does not see the offensive side of the field very much in the season, is getting his flowers here at the running back position. His first run out to the right was a nice one, but partially sprung due to a holding on the offensive line. And so it's a penalty that is a net loss of about 7. It looks like that hold came up the field a little bit. So from the spot, puts it at the 7. They have Calvin Norton with the hoodie on, looking all kinds of angry and ready to run this football. No, they will not hand it off to him. They'll get it to Miguel Torres on a little bit of a screenplay. Nice block from Tate Marich, and now Torres has some room up the middle. He's going to outrun everybody in the secondary. Touchdown, Vikings. That's 48-0. I tell you what, Glenn Morkey over there started calling the play before it was finished. Torres hadn't even gotten across the plane of the end zone, and the public address guy was calling the shot. A 49-yard pass play. Excuse me, I think it was a 45-yard pass play. Goes for 6. Another one sprung here from Grady Larson, this time to Torres. Nice blocking. Tate Marich has been in the conversation here for three big plays of late. 2 tackles on this near sideline, and this time right next to where he made those tackles, he made a big block, which sprung forward Torres, and he was able to use his speed for good. Another kick goes up and through, so Salazar remains perfect kicking. 7 for 7, and he's going to line up for another kickoff this time facing the south. As it looks like some of that moisture, as soon as we get the cameras, our spare cameras indoors, some of that moisture is lightening up, fortunately for everybody involved in this game. But better safe than sorry here. We're going to stick to one camera, and if it goes out, we'll be sure to fix it right away. So 49-0 the score here. 9:07 remaining in the second quarter. The Vikings have a scoring surplus here to induce a running clock once the second half starts. That's only a MSHSL rule that is induced after halftime. Salazar again, this time drives a nice kick in with the wind. It is scooped up there by De Leon, and De Leon runs forward, and he's dropped by Bricker Haugrud, one of them alongside Mark Roysum. So gets that good to go. And so we're getting into that high-frequency football season. The last time the Vikings played was on Wednesday. They're forced to play on 5 days rest on a Tuesday, and then they will play again on Saturday after just 4 days of rest. And we're assuming Saturday they will be playing in Barnesville. That is not a guarantee. With 10 minutes left in the second quarter, Barnesville is 32, Roseau 8. So the Rams got on the board here. Well, Barnesville still with a good lead. Interestingly enough, Hawley is at 19, Warrow 13. These are the only 3 games happening in Section 8AA. The other team in the mix is the Frazee Hornets, who are sitting at home tonight enjoying their 1 seed. And I tell you what, if there was a day that I would want to not be playing football, it might be today in these conditions. So nice job, Frazee Hornets, locking in their 1 seed for the Section 8AA. Hopefully they will be awaiting the winner of the Hawley-Warroad game. Another interesting interesting section I will be looking to watch here is Section 6AA. That is the teams that we saw last week of the Staples Motley Cardinals are a solid team, and now Hamry's going to run outside, has some room, but no, he's wrapped up and dumped by Trey Dawkin. Nice play by the sophomore Dawkin. Hamry, a Division I commit, scooting out to the left, had a chance to break a tackle, and Dawkin does a nice job sliding in there and getting that tackle. So looking forward, like I said, Section 6AA. None of these first-round matchups are all that impressive. Staples Motley up big over Wadena Deer Creek, 46-0, with 8 minutes left in the second. They're doing almost the exact same thing that Pelicn Rapids is doing to Crookston. Holdingford Monaga looks like they're up 33-0. Osakis Royalton is 22-0. So that is the team. If I was on Saturday and I wanted to watch two games, and it looks like rolling forward for the Pirates is going to be number 20, Arriaga. And he gets a first down there for Crookston. So nicely done there to get across the 40 down to the 41, moving the chains for Crookston. And so the Vikings, their Vikings' ability to stop these Pirates over and over now finally stops here in the second quarter. Nice run there from Crookston to roll it forward for a first down. I'm sorry, I know I should be advocating for my teams and the teams playing on the field, but if I was just a casual football fan and I found a way to watch two games on Saturday, yes, I'd watch the Pelicn-Barnesville game, and many of us will be in Barnesville. Ball goes on the turf momentarily. Hamry is able to get it, still on his feet, has not been taken down. The Vikings better bring him down. The whistle has not sounded. There was a lot of standing there, and I feel like if Hamry would have gotten loose, he could have ran for the whole way because the second level was just standing there watching that unfold. Hamry refused to go down. Great resilience from the senior here in blue, and there is now a injury on the field from that scrum. I think it might be number 66. Is it Harley Jacobson? That is down for the Vikings. It is Harley Jacobson. He's a little bit coming up a little gingerly, but under his own power. So you love to see that for the Vikings. He almost went to his own huddle, wanting to continue moving forward, but he will have to sit out a play here. And coming in for him is number 55. I believe that's Michael Honrud, but I'll double check. Yes, it is Michael Honrud on that right end spot. So the sophomore gets a couple of plays here in a fresh black jersey. And we're glad to see Harley Jacobson having no issues. Hopefully he's able to get his carry in that we talked about earlier. But anyway, just continuing to yap about football across Minnesota. This second round of football here in Section 6AA is going to be insane. Osakis will likely go to Pillager, and then it will be Staples Motley versus Holdingford in the other semifinal game. Holdingford the 2 seed, Staples the 3 seed. 3 of those teams are ranked in the top 10 of Class 2A. So you have almost like a little miniature state tournament happening in this central Minnesota area between Holdingford, Osakis, Staples Motley, and Pillager. But over here in Section 8AA, it is a less talented section, to be frank, but still going to be some classic rivalries coming into town. It could potentially be a 4 Heart Lakes team semifinal with Hawley versus Frazee, Pelicn versus Barnesville. Exactly what you want to see if you're Pelicn Rapids. Vikings tear through the line there and rip down Arriaga for another loss on the play. And so on 4th and 8, handoff goes nowhere, and the Vikings will take over and downs at about the 40-yard line. A nice defensive push there from the moving crew of the Vikings. Maddox Vondra, one of those players to rip through the line. Looking at that front line, it's Roscoe Stubbs, Maddox Vondra, Michael Honrud, Calvin Norton. I'm sorry, they flipped the chain over a little, or they flipped the down marker earlier over so quickly that I thought it was a turnover on downs. That was a 3rd and 8 run. So on 3rd and 8, they did not get the first down. It will be 4th and about 10 after a loss of 2. Hamry now. Sweep out to the right, Knutson. He has some space out of the right side. He has one man to beat Eisenman, and he cannot beat him before the chain. So Nice solo tackle by Eisenman to bring him down before the first down marker. So that's where the Vikings will take over, is on Crookston's 48-yard line. Over there on the left hash. Eisenman, a junior, and really impressive defensive back and receiver for the Vikings. And I don't know how much more the Vikings are going to be passing the ball here when I look at how gross the conditions are. I guess I thought the conditions were gross before Larson tossed one 40 yards to Torres. But in the interest of moving the clock and the interest of keeping things going, I wonder if they won't continue to hand off. Bricker Haugerud does. This time he's wrapped up momentarily in the backfield, makes one man miss, but then he is tripped up there finally by number 3, Dexter Janik. So Bricker Haugerud tried to make it a acrobatic big gainer, but ended up losing more yardage than he did at the original point of attack. Back across his own midfield to the 48-yard line of Pelican Rapids. That's a loss of 4, flipping the field from Crookston's 48 to their own 48. And now the Vikings will do a strong left set. Now it will be Royce moving out to the right here. Looks like almost 2 tight ends right. Larson handoff Haugerud, this time more up the middle. Did not try and get it out to the outside, and Haugerud will roll forward to get to the original line of scrimmage. Gain of 4 for him. Brings up a 3rd down and 10. Almost every member of the student section for the Vikings in a hoodie, sweatpants, hat, gloves, and wrapped in a blanket, and I'm sure they're still shivering down there. It's a lateral play out to Checo D'Souza. He catches it well behind him, but he makes a couple men miss, moves up here, makes another man miss here at the 30. Now the 20 beats everybody. Nice running there from Checo D'Souza on a lateral play. Good to go. Touchdown Vikings, 55-0 here in the second quarter. Wow, every time the Vikings run that play, I'm just so nervous, on a rainy day especially. I'm sure Larson threw that 2 yards behind where he tossed it. So if he drops that ball, Checo D'Souza, that's a live ball. And so maybe that's the kind of momentum, or the kind of stressful situation he needs to make sure he doesn't drop it, because now he's in a situation where if he drops it, that's a devastating scenario, fumbles potentially there. Instead, he catches it, makes multiple men miss, drops the hammer, and scores. Now Salazar lining up his 8th extra point of the night, this time spot down Eisman's hold. His kick looks as good as ever. Good, 56-0. Salazar 8 for 8 now in extra points. Vikings run with all confidence across the field to kick it off again. This time 3:22 remaining in the second quarter. Pelican Rapids 56, Crookston 0. All right, so we are back here. Salazar set to kick away again. Pirates looking to continue to have their resolve. They've had a couple, like last drive was their most successful drive so far. Got a first down, almost got another one here on 4th and 8, and Knutson just got tackled moments before the first down chains. This time it's a nice return there. Nicest for the day from De Leon. Makes a couple men miss, scoots up to the right, up to across the 40. And so De Leon gets the Pirates their best field possession so far. Mark Roysam, his name is called again here from the public address. That's a sophomore who is really sees a lot of playing time on special teams and is a really impressive ball carrier. We watched him in the Staples Motley game as the JV squads came out, and he was an impressive ball carrier, to say the least, against a solid Staples Motley JV. Hamrick holds it, does not get ripped down by Bricker Howgard, still on his feet, breaks out of another one from Tate Marich, and now Eisenman and Dokken will work together to bring him down. Man, Hamrick just refuses to go down. Great resolve by the senior. However, his extra effort ended up driving him backwards. I'm surprised their forward progress didn't give him a little bit more than that, but they're going to mark him as a loss of 5. And I'm surprised by that. I thought Eisenman and Dokken made their first contact just a couple yards behind the line of scrimmage, but they are going to penalize him much more, and that's something I'd watch back if I saw that on the stream to see where they put that. But anyway, regardless, our Wi-Fi is great today. That stream's coming out almost immediately. I'm looking at it here. On the worst weather condition day, I think our stream has been pretty solid for you guys at home, and I'm glad you are home, staying a little bit warm. I'm starting to feel a little bit cold here myself as we opened up the window a bit more, just out of our sympathy for Jaden Peterson down there, who's had to stand with a camera right at the top of the bleachers in the wind. 3rd down and 10 it will be after a gain of about 4 or 5. And so Edwin Escobar gets noted for the tackle alongside Harley Jacobson. And if you did not know, here on 3rd and 10, this channel 2 is a student-run production here. Jaden Peterson, our main cameraman, has been our producer in many a game as well. There's going to be a run there by Arriaga. He's dumped for a loss of 1, 4th and 11 upcoming. But not only does this allow you guys to watch all of Pelican Rapids sports events from the comforts of your own home, but it also allows for students of Pelican Rapids to learn the key skills necessary for live media mass production. So thank you, Jaden Peterson. Thank you, Mr. Kerry Halgard, for directing this program. And I'm just here along for the ride. They're going to set up another punt here on 4th and 10 from their own 40. Checo D'Souza and Eisenman set back to return. And I do think Eisenman, maybe it's my bias of him being a shifty basketball player, lateral movement, might be a more sure-handed player. But, man, Checo D'Souza has looked really good. And they're going to pass it here instead. Never mind. It's incomplete. They threw it right at the feet there of Casey Weiland. So they tried another fake here, and this one was less successful than the last one, and the last one didn't convert on 4th down. So they get it. The Vikings are going to get it right back where they found it at the 40-yard line with 49 seconds to go in the second quarter. Vikings eyeing up halftime here. Grady Larson will run out one more time, and I wonder how much longer he will be on the field when I think about going into the second half with a running clock. I'm assuming this ball game will move quite quickly after half. Larson at the 45, standing out of the shotgun with Calvin Norton to his left. Calvin Norton only got 1 carry. It was called back because of a flag. I wonder if they'll give him another one. They do. Up the middle goes Norton. He's got all kinds of space. And he's going to score from 40 out. He's excited. He's all lit up. Does not get a lot of carries, does the junior, but he's trying to put his name in the hat for somebody to get a carry or two. Touchdown, Vikings. And that's, I guess, when you're thinking about how do you continue to play the game here, still play it hard, but maybe you just give everybody you can the opportunity to carry the ball, and there's Norton getting an opportunity, and he's having a lot of fun with it, as are the rest of the Vikings players, playing hard for their teammates to get all kinds of opportunities. Salazar again, bad snap. Eisenman barely gets the handle of it, drops it down, and Salazar is unfazed, rolls it through, and we're getting some honks of all sorts, strobe lights up there. As there's some excitement, maybe Norton's family is sitting in the car up there. But regardless, nice run, Vikings. 43 seconds to go in the second quarter. Crookston's going to get the ball back. And this is exactly what Pelican Rapids wanted when it was starting kind of a new season. This regular season, to be honest, was not as successful as these Vikings wanted. And they just have come out with a different level of energy tonight, a different level of execution. De Leon gets the reception and cannot make that is number one right there. Checo D'Souza miss as he's tripped up there back on his own 25. But Vikings have executed well. They've really done their job at a high level, and they haven't tried to do too much. And the offensive line has made every block, and their running backs have ran hard and found the hole and hit it. And they've been scoring at a great clip. So offensively, defensively, a lot of confidence the Vikings can take into their presumable game with Barnesville on Saturday afternoon. Handoff there by number 6, Knutson, and he's dropped after a nice little gain of 6 there. Clock continues to run here, 24 seconds to go, and I wonder how many more plays. They might get one more playoff, but they might just let this go into the half here. We will see. And it will be the last play of the first half here. And so the Vikings run off with all kinds of confidence, and we will take a 12-minute break here at halftime and be back with the start of the third quarter from Pelican Rapids. Did they indicate anything happening for this second half? All right, we're back in business here for the start of the third quarter, and they are going to reset things. And interestingly, so they reset it to 1 minute on the clock. So I'm wondering if they're not just going to have a 1 minute third quarter, potentially a 1 minute fourth quarter, and simply call this game early in all effectiveness. I'm not sure if they will stop the clock, so they're going to have a number of plays here, and this is importantly so for all of the seniors here for Crookston. You might like to think that this is their last handful of plays. Got to say Dexter Janik, Zechariah Ali, taking a look. Tate Hamry, obviously, as mentioned. Fortunately for him, it's not his last time playing on a football jersey. Caleb Overby, Jose Arriaga, who's had some nice carries today. Mason Reitmeyer, who went down with a bit of a knee injury earlier in this game. And then that's Casey Weiland, another senior. Really going to be playing their last bit of football. The ball comes out momentarily, but the call is down by contact. And so Crookston is really backed up in tough straits right now. But I think in the global perspective of things, it's not going to be much of an issue here. And it sounds like, from everything I've gathered research-wise, you cannot just call a game. But what you can do is the coaches can make an adjustment on how many minutes they can put on the clock for the third and fourth quarter. So what they did is they put a minute on this third quarter clock. I'm assuming they'll put another minute on the fourth quarter clock, and it'll be over very momentarily. Nice run by Arriaga, best of the game. He wheels around the right side and scoots forward for a nice gain of about 15, moving the chains for Crookston. And he goes out of bounds, which will result in a stopped clock momentarily. But the official now blows the whistle and is asking for a winding clock. But now we have three officials moving their arms around. The clock still has not started. They blow a whistle again. There it goes. And so 3, 2, 1. End of the quarter it will be. Crookston runs a few plays, has a nice run from Arriaga, and the senior's able to remember one more good memory there on a nice wheel up the right side. And when you think about these Vikings, you can obviously also be nostalgic for these seniors. McLean Hovland, one of them. Miguel Torres, another. Jack Welch, the senior, number 12. Carter, let's take a look. Let's keep moving forward. Other seniors here would be Harley Jacobson, Finn Stewart. So you look at these Vikings, just a handful of seniors as well, playing their very last game on Chauncey Martin Field. And now what we have is 12 minutes on the fourth quarter clock. So it will be running clock, 12 minutes. So it's nothing to I was getting all my thank yous and goodbyes out a little prematurely. It will be 13 minutes of second half football. They abbreviate the third quarter and move it directly to the fourth quarter, and they did put 12 minutes on. So they're going to have 13 minutes of timed football here. They're going to run the clock, I'm assuming. Hamry has a bad fumble, goes through his hands momentarily. It's still on the ground. It's still loose, and it's scooped there by number 32, Mark Roysum, falls on it. And I thought Michael Honard was going to catch it and scoop it. And the clock is going to continue to wind here, even on the turnover on downs. But nice scoop up there, Mark Roysum, on a fumbled snap. So the clock is going to be running for the remainder of this fourth quarter. Vikings bring in their JV squad. Low snap, almost mishandled there by Trey Dokken. Mark Royson runs out to the right side, dangerously so. Makes a man miss and still on his feet in bounds. Wow, he turned a corner fast. I thought he was going to run out of room there on the right side. Found the real estate to turn it up and go. That's that sophomore I was talking about who's made some plays on special teams and then again makes a nice play getting the fumble recovery and now running the ball. As I mentioned against Staples Motley, he looked fast against a very good team. Looks even faster against the Pirates right now. And with 10:41 to go and rolling, Vikings looking to threaten with Dokken under center. Pitch out to the left. Royson might have space. Can he beat the man to the outside? He does, but a flag is thrown. So there's a little bit of celebration, but I think it's a little bit quickly so. They're kicking the flag around. They'll put it on the 10-yard line, holding on offense. So nobody was quick to celebrate there. I think everyone saw Mark Royson was able to get the edge because of a bit of a tug on that offensive line. Easy to happen on a sweep play. All the players trying to flood over there to the left side, and it's easy as a lineman to just get a little greedy and grab a little too much jersey. So it will go back to now 2nd and about 12. As Dokken one more time takes a snap. This time runs into Royson momentarily. Royson gives him a block. Dokken throwing out to the right side. Beautiful spiral, but over the head there of number 13, Zane Pint. And so Vikings trying to set up Dokken to Pint there. Also in the area was number 30 running the route. I think that might be Wesley Gettle when I watch him run. Some of these guys are easier recognized by their gait than their face down there with the helmets on and pads on. It's hard to recognize some of these JV guys. But Dokken again now 3rd and 12. This time handoff. No, he'll keep it up the middle, hurdles a man, and now he loses the football, does he not? Yes, he does, and it's falling on that is, looks like Zane Pint fell on it, so heads up play by Pint after it bounced out of the hands of Dokken, so it'll still make it 4th down now, but this time 4th and 7. The Vikings net 5 yards on that play. Dokken needs to be more careful with the football, loses it there, but Pint saves it from him, and it's just a safe situation there for everybody involved. The Vikings have 2 receivers left. One of those is number 3, Ian Bakken, number 30, Wesley Gettle. Low snap again. Dokken handles it, rolls out to his right, looking for Pint over there on the pylon. Now diving in was, he did not catch it. Diving in was number 19, Carter Johnson. He dove impressively so. I thought he was going to snag it, but no, it's going to be a turnover on downs, and Crookston's going to take it back the way of the South here with 7 minutes and 45 seconds to go in the football game. If you're wondering how is it in the football game and you just joined after this halftime break, they did do a 1-minute third quarter. They abbreviated things just to continue the game forward and kind of wrap things up here. Long bus ride home for Crookston on a Tuesday night. They have to get back to first hour at 8:30 tomorrow morning. There's going to be a toss play out to the left side. Cutting up field there was number 2. I wonder if that's not Mauricio Arriaga. Let's double check that. No, it's Domenico Roche. So I misspoke there. Roche makes a man miss momentarily, cuts up field, gets a gain of 1, and makes 2nd and 9. Hamry under center, 2 wing backs and a fullback here. Old Dave Haugen set. Handoff up the middle there to Arriaga, and he goes nowhere. Wrapped up by a host of Vikings. Finn Stewart is included. Also Michael Honrud in the mix. Also seen in the game here tonight is number 65. Excuse me, that's 59, and we do not have a number on 59. We'll try and figure out who that is here for you guys as we go forward. When I look, it looks like it's Charlie Stubbs, to be honest. He's number 60 on the program, but when I just look at persona, I think it's Charlie Stubbs down there, Roscoe Stubbs' younger brother. Nice run there for a few. Gets it up to 4th and 3. It's navigable territory here for Hamry, trying to get that first down. He's going to be out of the shotgun with Arriaga beside him. Couple wing backs, one of them being Roche. It's a handoff Arriaga. He's tripped up there by number 11. Nice play, Brenner Fredrickson on that right side of the line. And he stops Crookston and turns it over on downs. And that's exciting. Now Vikings will walk out their JV squad yet again. Number 63, Maury Chavez in the game. Looking at some other members of the Vikings, it's Michael Honard, left tackle, Chavez at guard. The center there is number 73, Thomas Johnson. And then on the right side here, looks like we have number 59, Charlie Stubbs. And at the right tackle here, also number 57, that's Odin Axness into the game. That's the moving crew for the Vikings right now. It's a little swing run out to the left side. Mark Roysum, nothing doing. He's tripped up for no gain. 4 minutes left to go in this game. Vikings trying to get a score with their JV squad. This Mark Roysum running attack has been good. In previous games, they're trying to get him going here on that first down run. Did not. Dokken now will try and find someone. And they tried to swing it to Fredrickson. The timing on that play was not there, and so it's a huge loss there. Miscalculation as Fredrickson falls on the fumbled exchange. It'll be now 3rd and 18. Vikings going backwards on their own, or on Crookston's 27-yard line. They need to get down to about the 10 to move the chains. 3rd and 16. Dokken, pistol formation, Royston behind him. Wouldn't be surprised if it's just a handoff here. And no, it will not be. He tries to scoot out to the right side, makes a man miss here, cutting upfield, makes another man miss, rolls forward, runs over a man, and falls down to the 16. Nice run from Trey Dokken, 10-yard gain. It will be 4th down and 6. So chunk play gets it back into 4th and manageable here. They are going to mark it at about the, well, they drop it back to the 18. So I thought it was 4th and 6, but they're going to say 4th and 8 here. So this could be the last play for the Vikings offense of the game if they do not convert on a 4th down, as this clock is just bleeding. 2:40 and counting with running clock. They're going to scoot it out to Mark Roysum. He breaks contain momentarily. There's a holding call on the Vikings anyway, so even if Roysum continues and goes into the end zone, which he does, we're assuming it's coming back. It is. That's the second Mark Roysum touchdown here that's brought back due to holding, so understandably so there on the wide receiver position. He was able to break the contain due to a little tug there from the wide receiver on the right side. So the Vikings will get one more play, and it wasn't how they deemed it to be happening. And 4th and 18 now, they will have a whole long ways to go for the first down. And their most explosive plays have been more Mark Roysum runs, but they mostly, when they've broken, have been due to a holding penalty. So they will keep it with Dokken, though. Right side has some room, but he's going to get wrapped up after a gain of about 5. That's where Crookston's going to take over here. So Pelican Rapids offense is probably done for the night, barring some kind of a turnover here in the last couple of plays. 1 minute and 30 seconds to go in the football game here. So Vikings, yes, excited to finish off this game, but also now looking forward into what is the semi-final round here, where they will be facing off against the Barnesville Trojans. They are at a halftime score there in Barnesville. I'm sure there's more than that done with their game, but 47-8 is the most updated score there. No doubt Barnesville is going to be the home team on Saturday. This is the last game for the Vikings on this field. It looks like the Vikings defense might have gotten caught there with offsides. The defensive tackle spot there. This time now a handoff up the middle here is going to be enough to move the chains, but effectively that might turn into the last play of the game. We'll see. There's really no intensity to get another one done. So Crookston's season is over. The Pelican Rapids Vikings advance to the semifinal round, where they will face Barnesville at Barnesville on Saturday. The other side of the bracket is going to be Frazee versus the winner of Warroad Holly. That's a close one up in Warroad. For all of us here at Channel 2, we're done with fall sports. Our first game back is going to be November 25th, where we'll have some girls basketball action. Yes, believe it or not, basketball is right around the corner. Thanks for everyone watching, and we'll see you next time.